Hey there, everybody. So I have to talk about this. This is really frustrating to me, and I just want to get this out of the way, right? Because I just want to say this. This is terrible optics, and you need to stop. Just stop this crap. Okay. So let me explain a little bit. So there was a controversy recently where Hasan, the streamer, was accused of zapping his dog with a collar, and I haven't seen the clip. I don't know if he actually did it or not. I heard that he said, oh, it was something else. I really feel like I'd have to actually look at it to see how he interacts with it to really confirm, because people can BS things. And, my opinion of that is this, right? You know, yeah, that's animal abuse, but animal abuse is shockingly common. People do it all the time, right? Like, I've seen so many things. I'm somebody who considers myself an animal lover, and I'm very, I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on the care of, every animal or whatever. That's pretty crazy. But, I know enough to know when something's wrong, and I've seen some really fucked up shit in my life. Way worse than, just a shock collar, right? And, my opinion on animal abuse is that it's largely a result of poor education and understanding. And it's a process of undoing a lot of the guilt and anxiety that's result of, falling down this path of, improper care. And in somebody's like Hassan's position, I feel like if he did actually do that, the correct answer would be to stop and to get an animal trainer. I think that would be the best thing to do. I mean, he has access to that income, and I think that's really reasonable. And at the end of the day, I don't really care that much specifically about that. No, what pisses me off is this particular response that I understand that badempenada is a very edgelord kind of character, but I don't think that, encouraging a community to essentially say that animal abuse is not a problem because liberals are complaining about it is not really good. It's really not good. Why do white people who've been cheering on exploded children for 2 years get up in arms about a dog yelping? Well, I mean, I hate this framing because it's like, I'll be honest with you again, I didn't see the clip, but, if I watched a man and I had credible evidence to believe that he shocked his dog, yeah, I would be pretty upset by that. And that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily cheering on, the deaths of these people. I think framing people being upset by this, is as just, oh, liberals are just being whatever, is this really just what? That's such a callous, thing about life. It's a callous view on life. I made a comment on another one of these posts. I'll go into it in a bit. But this guy goes on this fucking stupid rant about biodiversity and bullshit like that. Like, really trying to show his off his white people points. And I'm just like, yeah, but why do you need to, defend animal abuse? Like, the thing that's crazy about this is that I had no idea whether that the fact that this may, not have even happened, because badempenada is just acting like it actually happened. Like, I actually, had to do a little bit more research, and I still have to watch the clip to really be certain at this point, because I think it's just so fogged up. I can't really trust any source specifically, because either one, they're not trained enough in animal care to recognize, or two, they're, obviously politically biased, right? So, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not really that deeply concerned. Like I said, I've already expressed my opinion of whether or not, if he actually did, use a shock collar, like what he should do about it. I personally don't think that going around and chastising animal abusers is really the way to go about it, because does it stop the animal abuse? No, typically not until authorities get involved. Yeah, do you want authorities getting involved? I don't want authorities getting involved personally. I just think that, he should try something a little bit more effective. That's all, right? But this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Now, I can understand, now to stress, right? I can understand, the frustration of white people putting animal rights before, example, the rights of, Palestinians or Arabs or whatever, like that. That is a real problem, and that is something that I think should be explored seriously, as opposed to just saying, like, who cares about a dog yelping? I mean, I would personally believe that a lot of people who align themselves with the left would care about that. I don't think it's exclusively something that only liberals care about. Like, I think that's crazy to suggest that. Now, this is the one that pissed me off, right? And I was like, I have to say something about this. This is out of control, right? Ethan Klein literally killed his dog by stuffing it full of cheese and blamed the vet for not telling him that it's bad to feed your dog cheese every day. I do not give a shit about animals. I care about humans. I just like to make Ethan Klein feel bad. Like, really? Really? Okay, so first off, none of these people treat animals okay, alright? You're all fucking animal abusers, okay? Like, Jesus Christ, like, the worst part is that probably, like, I know this sounds crazy, but, like, probably one of the less abusive people that I remember. I haven't caught up with him in a while, so maybe he's fallen behind. But back in 2010s, like, out of all the people, I hate saying this, but John Tron actually knew how to take care of a bird. And it sucks that I have to say that. Like, come on, guys. Like, why do you have to have a pet if you can't take care of it? And it's just like, speaking of birds, I used to own birds, right? And birds are very challenging pets to own. I would not recommend birds unless you've done a lot of research and you know exactly what bird you want to get, and you know what to do if the birds don't get along, because that's a thing that happens, and it sucks when it happens. And, the thing about birds is that you can't be violent at all with birds. Like, if you were to, you can't do a shock collar, you can't flick the beak, you can't do any of that shit, because if you do that to a bird, it will treat you like a predator, and it will never trust you ever again. It will never, ever want to interact with you, because it's a prey animal. It doesn't know any better. It's just like, holy shit, you almost killed me. Right? All those things, are very real and very serious, right? And the thing is that I feel that, now mind you, I'm speaking as somebody who's a aggressive critic of the pet industry. I've pissed off my fair share of breeders with the things I've had to say to them. And I hit it where it hurts, because I actually understand a thing or two about taking care of, animals that are not necessarily a cat or a dog, right? And the thing is that there's just, I feel like all life, if you're going to be serious about any of these takes, right, there shouldn't be a tier list, right? I think that your belief or ontology that drives your politics should include animals. Like, don't give me a lecture like this dumb fuck over here about the fucking environment, right? And climate change and human destruction and blah 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 and extinction of all animal species, when all I'm asking is, hey, maybe don't go around and act like electrocuting a dog is okay, right? Like, again, like, I don't even know if Hasan actually did it, right? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, to be clear, like, I'm not even, like, I wouldn't even be that mad about it. I would be upset. I will say this, I would be upset. But it's not something that I'd just be like, I'm over this. Like, I just understand the nature of animal abuse and how it proliferates in society, and I understand that most of it is just people being ignorant and not knowing any better. But, like, this is crazy. Like, you know better than to say, I don't give a fuck about animals, and encouraging people to say this shit. Like I don't know what to say. Like, and or like people comparing it to Ethan Klein. Like, buddy, if you think that the majority of people who are mad about this are not mad at Ethan Klein, Okay, I will admit a lot of them are liberals. Okay, I keep forgetting that liberals exist, unfortunately. But there's a lot of people who are leftists who hate Ethan Klein and hate everything he's done to his pets and his family and everything like that. And are not cool with this either. It's because we're not cool with this shit, alright? It's that simple, right? And I don't understand why people gotta be this way. I don't understand why people gotta say this kind of this shit. And it really sucks that YouTube is apparently hiding my last comment. I don't know what I did to get it hidden, but that's YouTube for you. But anyways, I have a video that I'm working on. It will probably be up in a week. See you there. Maybe don't defend animal abuse, and have a good day.